Images forever ingrained.
And Logan kind of knows, or at least he's seeing this with me. I'm trying to find an MMO that's going to recreate that feeling I had with City of Heroes. Mainly,
find it.
I won't, and I know that. And I try to find it with Destiny. I try to find it with Guild Wars 2 and World of Warcraft. But I think
well, Destiny's kind of like a half measure, not really a full pure MMO. So it's kind of not the best example.
No, but just finding that game that I can play with my friends and in a group,
big online experience. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and it's hard to find that. But as long as I can play an MMO with some friends, a friend or two. It kind of brings me back to that, and I feel like, oh, cool, like this is kind of like how City Heroes was back in the day. But you know, it'll never recreate that feeling of getting into a super group and doing a task force that takes like 5 hours and just feeling like a badass with your superpowers and stuff like that.
I had that feeling in vanilla World of Warcraft. I played that literally right at the gate.
Did you just call it vanilla World of Warcraft?
Yeah, vanilla. Vanilla's like the
1.0.
That sounds delicious, man.
And it honestly, as tedious as it sounds, like organizing 40-man raids and like sitting around for like 5 hours and like trying to boss for 12 hours, like it was awesome.
At the last minute.
Yeah, and it was like, but that one time when you finally cleared it, it was like so. It was so awesome. And
then your friend gets the mount that you wanted.
And like World of Warcraft, yeah, exactly. And World of Warcraft is more like I want it now, where it's like you can just jump in wherever you want. But back then it was perfect. Like I wanted to do that.
I think MMOs in general are like that now. It's so easy to just jump in and play it, and it doesn't have that like build up that original.
First taste is free.
Yeah, exactly. And that's perfect for me nowadays. But like 10 years ago or 12 years ago, like raiding for 12 hours was the best. That was awesome.
Yeah. Those are the good weekends.
Yeah.
Man, I still use my character names from City Heroes in other MMOs.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah,
I still do too.
Well, yeah, it's hard to really, get rid of a good character name, especially when you go to one and it's like the only one you can create is adding a couple H's or I's at the end or something like that just to get it.
And all the bards are already singing tales about them, so you might as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So keep their stories going.
Yeah, continue their legacy.
Oh my god.
But MMOs create that experience and that.
Yeah, very
that fun.
Yeah, very awesome.
Yeah.
That it's hard to come to it now, especially when back when you were playing City of Heroes or something or Vanilla WoW, where all your friends had time to play it with you, and now we're all older and moved on to other things. Like it just doesn't work out as much as we want.
Fewer hours in the day.
Yeah. Imagine trying to organize 40 people to do one thing in a game. Come on.
I don't even know 40 people.
People exist.
We barely got 5 tonight.
Yeah, really.
There's more than 5 people in the world.
Well, 5 people that you like too.
I think it's going to be basically impossible to find that game that will impact us again. Like, mainly because, not saying a game won't ever impact us as much close as that one game.
You never forget your first.
Yeah, once you get that first, oh my god feeling, like, and you get that again with another game, your mind will revert back to that. So it's never ever going to be the same, but still feeling that little warmness, right? You feel it like right in the middle of your...
Where my heart used to be.
Sorry.
But no, it's fine. But
sorry about that. Do you actually mind if I ask kind of a follow-up question? Has there been a game you guys experienced recently that reminds you why you liked a certain genre or style of game that you thought you've seen it all before? Like it kind of happened to me when a friend of mine recommended Persona 4 to me. Like I was kind of burnt out on RPGs, JRPGs, the big narrative focused ones. I'm kind of an odd duck where I never could get into Final Fantasy because of all the numbers on the end of it. And no, really, I have been somehow out of the loop with Final Fantasy, but I played some pretty interesting to kind of kind of mid-tier stuff on and off. And I'm like, I don't think JRPGs are all that good. Then I played Persona 4, and I kind of had my mind blown.
Yeah, that's I mean, I feel that with JRPGs, but I was huge into Final Fantasy when I was younger. But honestly, one of the JRPGs that really sold it for me was Legend of Dragoon. I don't know if you guys ever played Legend of Dragoon.
I did, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, way back when.
Yeah, I played the shit out of that game, and it was awesome. And I still remember the last boss to this day. Like, it was just so intense. It's like just fight after fight after fight.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel that with Final Fantasy, it's kind of daunting. There's like 13 or 15 or 100 of them, but
that was a jump, 13 to 100. It's true. It's true.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it's called Final Fantasy because they thought it was the last game they were gonna make, right?
Right.
Yep. We're all aware of the ironic production story behind it.
But it's kind of wearing thin now, I think.
I've heard decent things about Final Fantasy 15, but mostly if you like a lot of really pretty filler, check it out.
Honestly,
let me tell you about Final Fantasy 15.
Honestly, Final Fantasy 12 was just remastered, so
yeah,
maybe just check that out.
I love 12.
Final Fantasies.
12 is great.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the best ones.
Okay. Oh dear.
The thing is, I did like it, but it was a weird clusterfuck of just four guys chilling in the car, but it's made for the fans. It's ridiculous. It's great. It's like angry. It's just, but in a weird way, it's a type of, you know what? This is worth what I paid. That makes sense.
Yeah, 15 is passable, but 12 is amazing. I know it got a lot of hate when it came out, I think.
Actually, you know what? I need to hear more about this because all I've heard of Final Fantasy 12 from my close circle of friends who are all Final Fantasy nuts, they actually kind of like to dunk on Final Fantasy 12. Like,
really?
Yeah, really. Like, I knew a buddy.
People do.
Like, I knew a buddy of mine that played Final Fantasy 11 and loved the MMO elements, and then went to 12 and he's like, they messed it up. And I knew a guy.
So much difference.
And I knew a guy that really liked the narrative stuff of the Final Fantasy games. Like, he liked Final Fantasy 10, 8, 9, 7, the big ones. And he looked at 12 and was like, my gosh, it's like a 12-year-old wrote this. And I'm like, geez.
Well,
so it felt kind of weird for me hearing that they're remastering 12 to celebrate the 30th anniversary. So what exactly is it that kind of got your attention?
It's kind of one of those games that I think came out at a bad time. It kind of got a lot of hate for like coming off of 11 or whatever, and then over the years, it kind of people look back on it more fondly. The combat system's awesome. The story's maybe not the best story in Final Fantasy, but the job system, the combat system.
I did hear it got some crap for it was kind of doing the sort of Game of Thrones, kind of intrigue, Warring Kingdoms vibe as opposed.
Yeah, it works a lot.
Epic thing.
Yeah, it works a lot better these days than it did when it came out. Yeah, it's definitely, in my opinion, one of the best Final Fantasies that's ever came out. But
you're the first person that's told me that.
I think I put 70 hours into Final Fantasy 12, and I went to GameStop to trade in some stuff, and I traded in the wrong memory card.
Oh.
And I went back that same day, like maybe a couple hours later, and it was completely wiped. And I went home and I looked at Final Fantasy 12, and I just put the disc in the case and I put it away. And to this day, that case with that game is in my closet.
That's awesome.
That is beautiful.
Along with my original copy of Kingdom Hearts.
I don't think I put more hours into a Final Fantasy than I did Final Fantasy 7, but I actually don't know how many hours I put into Final Fantasy 7 because the counter stopped at 99 hours. 59.
I felt like my heart was just ripped out from that story.
Yeah,
it sucked.
Very sad story. Very emotional.
It was hard for me to get into RPGs at that time too, and I was like, man, this game sucked me in. It was awesome. 70 hours. I stayed up
putting off the ending too, right?
Yeah, no, like
off the ending until you.
I have heard nothing. Actually, I think the major reason why I couldn't really get into more recent JRPGs was the combat. Believe it or not,
I love the combat system on it.
No, that's the thing. I'm so used to turn-based combat. Like I'm so used to the turn-based menu-based combat, and when they started overcomplicating that, I'd say, with like the active time battle stuff and the cooldowns and and all this sort of World of Warcraft style stuff. That's what drew me out for a while. It was that it felt like, for me, it felt like they were putting way too many bells and whistles on a wheel, and then they turned the wheel into a coffee table. It just didn't fit for me. But then I think the JRPG that kind of broke that to me was actually Xenoblade Chronicles on the Wii, and that for some reason that game was what you drew me in and actually got me into this sort of real-time ATB style combat system. It also helped that the game was a lot of fun and really good.
Yeah, no, I played a lot of that game. It was awesome. But I think, I don't know, Final Fantasy 12, maybe just give it a shot if you see it on sale somewhere. But it's a good mesh of like it's a good mesh of turn-based and like
I hear you. Well, the problem is I'm still, like I said, I'm still just now, it's part of the pile of shame. I'm still getting through Final Fantasy, looking through Final Fantasy 7. I'm not kidding. I have not played anything. I've not heard anything else of 7. I'm still playing through that.
Seven's hard to go back and replay. I have it on Vita, and I think with playing it on Vita, it's a little more acceptable for me to like play it there because it's a handheld. I tried playing it on PS4, and I just couldn't get into it.
It helps the grind. It helps the grind a lot more. I know I'm much more open to level grinding and RPG. Whip it out and grind. But that sounded terrible.
There's SGDQ had I think they had an 8-hour speed run of Final Fantasy VII, and it was kind of nuts to watch because these guys had planned out the entire 8-hour speed run. Like, I mean, it was crazy to watch. I think I watched it for like 2.5 hours, and just them knowing every single thing to do next, and how strategic their moves are and little glitches that they had to hit, things like that, because that game's normally like 39 hours on a speed run, and these guys had it down to like 8.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
But sorry, anybody else like to contribute to my dopey question?
What was it?
Why is Final Fantasy 12 the best Final Fantasy?
No, not that one. Not that one. Let's move on. I'm talking about, have you experienced a game recently that made you fall in love with the genre again that you?
Oh yeah.
I would say shooters for me, like because I normally play first-person shooters, but I didn't really get into them heavily until Black Ops 3. Like online shooters anyways. Like, I mean, you still play shooters here and there, but online multiplayer. I couldn't get into any of the Call of Duties from like the past few years, and even Battlefield just had a hard time, but Black Ops 3 kind of changed. I was like, man, this was really good. And then I got like Infinite Warfare. Infinite Warfare was really bad, and then it kind of grew on me. And then Overwatch, awesome. I love Overwatch.
I'm sorry, I can't just let you blow past that. Did you just say Infinite Warfare was kind of bad?
It was. So when it first came out, well,
he's not right. He's not. No, that's like it's like the best.
Infinite Warfare? You mean Titanfall 2?
No, it's way better than Titanfall 2. We're not gonna get into this.
No. Hear me out. Give me a second. Hear me out. Black Ops 3 movement was, to me at first, like, so when I first started playing Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3's movement felt smoother, felt better, and the guns themselves. But then I think it just took me getting a certain gun to really like Infinite Warfare, and now that I really got into it and started loving like the maps and everything like that, because I think that's what happens is you get used to like the maps on one game, and so when you go to the new one, for me it was hard to transition, and then now I love it. It's awesome.
Goodness. I find it amazing. You guys could actually even remember Infinite Warfare at all. It was just it was white noise to me. Honestly, what little bit I played.
Honestly, I'm not a big I haven't been a big Call of Duty fan since Black Ops 1. I played Modern Warfare 3, I played Black Ops 3, I played Ghost, but I was never really into them. And then Infinite Warfare came out, and I just don't know, it clicked with me. The single player was just awesome. And the multiplayer.
Modern Warfare 2 was where I stopped. I came back for Advanced Warfare, and I finished the campaign, and I'm like, okay. Then I tried maybe an hour of the online. I'm like, well, this is terrible. And I left. So
Black Ops 3 was awesome. Like Joel was saying, it was like redefined kind of Call of Duty a little bit.
I got my online fixed now. I got Titanfall 2, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those guys that has a guild in Destiny. So, so I've kind of planted my flag there.
Sorry, I just defend Infinite Warfare because I honestly think it's one of the better Call of Duties, and it just kind of got overshadowed because it's the next Call of Duty, right?
People like to hate on Call of Duty, and it's like the thing to do. But I'm like, every year, I get it every year, and I never like. And at first, I was only getting Infinite Warfare because of Modern Warfare Remastered, and I ended up not playing Remastered at all, like really at all. Like I maybe a couple games here and there.
That's actually what turned me off, believe it or not. Like if they just sold, I would have been fine with it, and then they just kind of muddled the water so much. Like, oh, by the way, the variety map pack we're charging $5 extra for is not included in the package, and there's microtransactions in it now, and also the audio is kind of messed up. Don't worry about it, though. It's part of the Legacy Pro Edition. You already bought it, right?
Well, yeah, there's nickel and dime in that game, but even now, like, if they,
it's one of those signs that just kind of say they don't respect me nearly as much anymore. I'm like, screw you.
Well, I'm kind of glad like I got it that way, because had I bought Infinite Warfare and then they started selling Modern Warfare separately, I think they sell for what, $40? I don't think it's worth that much at all. When I played it, I did not feel nostalgic at all. I felt like, man, this game is dated. It doesn't play as smooth as the new ones. I can see why.
Right?
I can see why they are wanting to go in a different direction, because it does not
age well at all.
No, it
does not age well at all.
My goodness, it's like I'm hearing pig Latin out of you guys, because I think Modern Warfare 1 still holds up fantastically.
Oh my god.
And the more recent Call of Duties are just too much chicanery.
No, I have hundreds of hours in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like back in the day, and Modern Warfare 2, and playing it back in November, it just does not hold up. You play a couple rounds and it's fun, but it's.
I'm gonna say something about Call of Duty here.
Oh god.
Gird your loins.
It's not Bioshock.
A doy. And it all sucks.
Honestly, I think, okay, I'm going to say this right now. Like, I played World War II.
Kyle?
Right?
Yeah.
My grandpa played World War II.
You died for a second. Okay. I don't know what happened.
Me?
He played World War II. That's what happened.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. I cut out. No, I said I played Call of Duty World War II, and I think everyone's going to be like very surprised at how good that game is.
I'm excited for it. I think if you play Call of Duty every year, it's hard to go back to something like Modern Warfare Remastered, because that game has evolved so much, and it's so much quicker and reaction based that trying to go back and play something as slow isn't as like fulfilling. It's just not. That's why Titanfall 2 to me is like also really good, because it's got such good like gunplay and movement and everything like that. And to me, Battlefield 1 is great, but it's not as fun.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Tyler, my goodness, how we get on this topic so much, bashing Call of Duty?
Well, Tyler, I understand your apprehension.
We're defending it.
I
mean, we're talking about loving one Call of Duty game and loving the other one, so we're really showing just our love and passion for Call of Duty.
I will say mine is more biased, because most guys, because I'm a girl, they're just like, all you do is play Call of Duty. I'm like, you mention that one more time, and I will staple your ball sack to your forehead.
I will knuckle punch you in the throat.
It's hard for me. It's hard for me to defend and not come off as a Call of Duty fan, because I'm not really a Call of Duty fan.
I am listening to your arguments. Yeah. It's just that part of me keeps thinking of the Call of Duty series gone out of its way to appeal to its established fan base, to its established user base.
Well, yeah,
to the people that always buy it every year. And because of that, it becomes so impenetrable for somebody that dropped out of like 4 or 5 years, came back, and it's like, okay, so this is worse, this is worse, this is worse, this is worse, but if I chug enough Red Bull, I'll like it. I'm being very
Well, I think that's a tough thing is they categorize it as like the bro shooter all the time, and I could see I could see why it categorizes that, but it's not.
And because of that, I'm turned off. So whenever I bring up Titanfall 2, I'm like, this is quick, this is accessible, this is open, this also brings a lot more to it. Like I still play Titanfall 2, and I still enjoy the heck out of it.
Yeah, I just picked it up recently.
And because of that, I've kind of broken myself off the Call of Duty wheel, so to speak. And I'm very much aware that the studios are working very hard on World War II, but I just find it kind of annoying that a lot of people are saying, "Oh my gosh, Call of Duty is being fresh again," except Call of Duty started as a World War II.
No, I understand that. Honestly, I might have maybe had my E3 goggles on, but
it's always difficult. It's always hard to get those off.
When I went into the Activision booth, went through the single player stuff, it blew me away. Like I don't think anything near in like the last 10 years of Call of Duty comes up to what they're putting out for this.
I'm excited. It's definitely on my list of must-have games.
I'm willing to bite my tongue with this. I am willing to I'm willing to eat crow with this. But the very instance I saw the trailer and they say, "Oh, we're going to," and I thought, okay, what if they go to different venues? And then I saw they're going to cover the Bloody First Battalion again, which means which means Normandy landings, Battle of Stalingrad. We're gonna get all the Band of Brothers stuff again.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
those are good.
But that's my problem. Like part of me is like, you're not mixing it up. That's for me. That's why Battlefield 1 was so successvel. When they said we're going to do World War I, everybody thought, oh no, it's going to be trench warfare on the British front again. It's going to be just that. And they're like, no. We're going to the Italian front. Yeah, we're going to.
Sometimes you don't always have to reinvent the wheel. I mean, like we can look at Destiny 2, right? We don't have to reinvent the wheel.
There is an argument for refinement, which is is a good experience, and I'm hoping for the best for the developers. But I find it just kind of weird that a lot of other outlets are saying, "Oh my God, Call of Duty is fresh again," when they're going back to literally the very premise that put them on the map.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just how they're going back, right? I don't want to stray too far into the Call of Duty rabbit hole, but it honestly, like once you get your hands on the multiplayer, and it's a lot more tactical. It's not
I will be the first one to eat all the crow, but from what I can tell from an outsider perspective, all I'm seeing is Call of Duty 1 again, but with prettier visuals.
Which I'm okay with. I mean, as technology has grown and stuff like that, I want to see that, things that they had in the past. I want to see them refined. I want to see them brought up to, the new standard, and I want to play those games. I love World War II. I love shooters. So I got you. Yeah, I mean, and that's what it is. They're appealing to the market, and so that's what they got to do. And even though like their sales were down last year, they were still one of the top selling games. So for them, it's just like, hey, let's try going back and let's try to win back more people, even though we're still selling crazy amounts of games. I don't know. I'm excited for it. Steph, I know you were gonna go next, so if you wanted to talk about
a game that reignited your passion for a genre.
Yeah, go for it.
Now I know we mentioned League earlier, and this is gonna be weird. Some people, like some of my followers, ask like, "You played this for 7 years. Why the hell are you still playing it if you complain about it?" I've never played those type of games before, actually. League was free, but League gave me the appreciation of stuff like WoW and Guild Wars 2 and all that type of stuff. Like the stuff, Joel, you're looking for from City of Heroes? Was that? I've never heard of it, sorry.
COH!
That feeling of community, that feeling of
villains.
I don't feel anything for the community. But at the same time,
ooh, harsh.
I do, because again, most people I knew who played it were also women, and so it's just like, yay, women gamers like that too. And little old 18-year-old me was just like, frick yeah, that's gosh darn play this game. But that just got me to appreciate it. It's just like, yeah, Riot, they do a great job, don't get me wrong. League is aggravating. It makes me want to pull my own hair out. But at the same time, the minute that you get them kills, when you go like 11-2 and like 6,
and that adrenaline starts hitting you.
Coward. And plus, people have to realize, I remind myself, League is a constant growing game.
Well, and it's a challenging game. I mean, there's everyone that gets into it and is in that community. The only way they keep playing it is because they're getting better and they're enjoying the challenge at the same time. Like they're, they love like the characters that they play.
Getting better, this can be iffy, but for most people,
better is a general term.
You hope they were getting better. That's more like Overwatch, but I've played like first-person shooters a lot, so I love Overwatch, but that wasn't really anything new. 2 years before it even came out, so 3 years ago, I was already balls deep into it because I knew I'd like it, so to speak. But
yes,
just League, let me get into games like that, and the community is like salty as all heck, but like there are a lot of people that I watch more streamers. I actually got into Twitch. That's actually a reason why I'm streaming, is because of League. If it wasn't League, why would I really stream? Yeah, I stream Bioshock. I stream like little RPG horror games and all that other little stuff, but I never really would know what Twitch was. I never knew what Twitch was until I started watching people like Lily Pichu or Pokimane. I watch mostly, again, women, girl streamers, and I feel like League emphasizes more on women in that as well, and just that whole thing. So that's what really got me into it. I knew about WoW, but I'm just like, I'm not paying like $20 a month or whatnot, and it was just confusing. I just like squishing the frogs. That was it. That's all I want.
When you watch people stream it, do you kind of get like tips from that, or like do you kind of see different way to play?
Wait, hold up, stop for a second. She says, I just want to squish frogs. We say, oh, that's understandable, that's fine. But whenever I talk about the forbidden love between me and my princess on body pillow, suddenly we're all judgmental.
It's not forbidden. It's known.
You can't squish those frogs. You can't.
Your people are sick. You want to squish frogs?
Yeah, but that's fine.
You want to squish pillows.
And other things. But when I do watch them, I'm just like, oh, I could do that type of move. But watching it and playing it is two different things. Like, you can watch LCS plays, and like you can easily
it's very easy to point out. You should have done that.
Oh, you should have done that, and then you're into it. Because I've actually been in that position where I was in a what's the competition? What's that word?
Backseat player, as I like to call it.
I was actually in where I was on stage. I was playing for a bit. It's easily drowned out, but there's like one guy. He's like, "Oh, you should have done this, this, and this." I'm like, "All right, you're next. Why don't you play it?" And then I saw
put up or shut up,
basically. But yeah, you kind of get into it. But every time I watch it, I get revved up about the game. So it's just the fact that you could kind of get excited for just watching people play. But it's definitely a game I don't want to say it got me more into games like World of Warcraft and stuff. Kind of did, but I only played League. So why don't I play other games like WoW? It's because I like more of the women in that community. That's what brought me more into more true, I guess, women gamers. And it's helped me spot the people who would be on Twitch, and there's a reason why there's a t-shirt policy now for Twitch, because of gamers who the whole screen is just their face, and majority of the game is just a tiny little itty-bitty part of the screen. It just, I don't want to say those women can't enjoy games, but they can, but they are giving themselves up. I don't know. It got me more into games like League and more into women in gaming communities, which helps grow and strengthen one another.
That's perfectly understandable, and I think that's why there's such a big sort of audience for Twitch. I mean, I think I kind of stayed out of last week's show, which was about streaming, because I'm kind of new to the scene. Because for a while, I really didn't understand the appeal of watching somebody else play. I'd rather play the game myself. But there is a certain, I guess, performative arts element to it that some people can get some.
It's the same way people watch football, baseball, and stuff like that.
Yeah, like that. So
that's what I explained to my dad, at least.
Yeah, I get that, and it's kind of why I've been doing my Friday streams here, the Game Fanatics hosts, thankfully, and it did lead to one instance because last week I finally got ending A of Nier Automata on my Pile of Shame stream. And it could have just been something as simple as I played it on my own time and got it, but I had an audience, so it was like, oh, I get this now, and the people are saying, like, congratulations, way to go, keep going, it gets worse, and spurring me on, and I'm like, okay, I get this now. There's a certain appeal to it.
Very well put. All right, anybody else got anything they want to add?
No, I just wanted to poke fun about Dota 2, but I'm not going to do that.
Baba boy, Prince of Dawn, Baba boy.
Baba boy.
I'll just throw in for Joel's second question was there a game or something that brought back that influential? And I would say The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker did that for me. Because going from Ocarina of Time, and there was a few Zeldas in between, but looking at it, and it was like a cartoon Link, and I was like, this looks so dumb, but then you played it, and easily one of my top, like probably the top 3 Zeldas that I played, and it recreated and brought back that imagination and that adventure.
The pig farts as you carry it around.
And the snot boy running into you. But yeah, I feel like Wind Waker continued that, and then Breath of the Wild brought it back as well. So like it's like a continuing process with the Legend of Zelda series.
I see your farting pig, Steph, and I raised there's a turning point in the story where you find out that Hyrule is under.
Got my farting pig pillow.
But I do agree with you with the Wind Waker thing, because I feel like I almost lost it at, like, I loved Ocarina of Time too, but like it just wasn't Zelda. I loved it. I loved the characters. It got more. I think what I liked about Ocarina of Time is that it let you feel more about the characters, let you get to know them. Because I started from the very, very, very first Zelda, and worked my way up. It let you know who Zelda was. It gave you that storyline, which is why I think also a lot of people like it, because other games kind of did, but not really. This one went more like in depth and
actually made you feel like a hero.
Yeah, you're just like, yeah, I'm a little boy who's running around with a sword. Frick yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna save my sister.
But I feel like Wind Waker, the way that the design was with that kid, kind of like comic style with like cleaned up lines and stuff, that added more to the story, especially Link's little faces. And
it was a lot more expressive.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, it's just what happened to like Kid Link, because you knew that at the time when like it split in two, what happened to him too. Things like that.
It expounded on the story and the timeline.
I don't know.
It was a real mind blown moment. I thought, okay, it's fun.
Ocarina of Time, I felt like was I loved it, but at the same time it was too. You have to do this, this, and this. No matter what. All right, I'm going to check out, just kill some monsters, Navi. Hey, you should head up to Death Mountain. Tell me that one more time. See?
Listen, no. Hey, yeah. Listen, no.
It's just one of those things of, there still wasn't like an annoying thing. You got to get back into that. That was the like.
You like the freedom of the.
Mm-hmm, because that's what I grew up with the originals. Zelda. I know I've mentioned this before, but they just threw you in the forest and you're sitting in there with the NES controller, like, what
do I do?
What do I do?
What do I do now?
I still do that.
That was Breath of the Wild. That was kind of Wind Waker. I mean, they showed you just like, hey, this is how you end the game, but go nuts to save some pigs, make sure the pigs don't fear fart all over your face.
You get pink eye.
Should be fine.
Yeah.
But, that's science with Joel.
Yeah.
Next week.
Science.
Pick farts.
Yeah, I completely agree with the Wind Waker. The remake for the Wii U is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Beautiful.
It is fantastic.
All right, we've gotten to the Wii U portion of the podcast, so we're going to go ahead and end it here. Thanks for joining us once again, guys. Don't forget to head over to thegamefanatics.com for all things geek culture and read the articles, follow our streaming channels, comment on our videos, and now go play some freaking games.
Like,
Freaking.